now.
This next match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Our first contestant weighs in at 240 pounds from Sand Springs, Oklahoma, Brian Breaker.
Brian Breaker, a recent graduate of the Harley Race Wrestling Academy, 240 pounds from Sand Springs, Oklahoma, and he's going to be taking on Wild Wade Chism here on WLW.
Has he even won a match yet?
Brian Breaker was a part of the winning team. Actually, yes, he did, in a match that was not televised in Harrisonville, Missouri, just last Saturday night. He did defeat Denty Moore, which is a huge win. Denty Moore is in the top 5 in the top 10 rankings.
And his opponent, weighing in at 253 pounds from Versailles, Missouri, Wild Wade Chism.
Wild Wade Chism, who lost that match to Denty Moore to see who was going to have the right to challenge to fill Brandon Tatum's spot in that three-way match for the World Heavyweight title, is going to be looking to pick up a win here against Brian Breaker, the recent graduate of the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. And you have to think Wade has a big advantage, although Brian has looked very impressive here in WLW.
He might have looked impressive here in WLW, but he hasn't impressed me. Where he's in the ring with, like I say, Mr. WLW, and I think he's in for, well, they say down here in Ava, a butt whooping.
I really appreciate your command of the Queen's English there, Johnny.
The what English?
Brian Breaker and Wild Wade Chism set to square off here in this one-on-one matchup. Both these wrestlers well liked by the fans. Nice show of respect.
I'll show you respect. You call them fans. The only reason I'm doing that is because you said you didn't care what I thought, or you didn't care what I said. So I was going to start saying whatever I want to say now, Mr. Murphy.
I really appreciate that. In the 10 years that I've known you, I don't really think that you've really said anything other than what you wanted to say.
I usually don't hold back, do I?
You're not a sugarcoater, and there's really nothing considerate about you. It's all about what Johnny Gold wants, what benefits Johnny Gold. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to call a wrestling match. And right now, Brian Breaker getting the advantage out of this collar and elbow tie-up on Wild Wade Chism in a clean break.
If you say so, Mr. Murphy.
I said so. And another lockup between these two men. Brian Breaker goes into a headlock. Needs to get a little bit wider base, especially against a powerhouse like Wild Wade Chism.
Oh, you ain't knocking way down like that.
No, you're not. He better try again. Now Wade sidesteps, misses a clothesline. Shoulder tackle from Brian Breaker.
That's how you knock Wild Wade down.
Now a scoop slam from Breaker. Takes Wade down. There's a cover. Only a one count. Wild Wade using a single arm to shuck Brian Breaker off of him.
See, you've been down in Ava too long because you just said shook.
Well, he did. He shucked him off. Wild Wade with the tackle of his own. A 2 count. We have about 7 or 8 members of Team Breaker here sitting ringside to watch Brian Breaker in action. And an Irish whip by Wild Wade. Charges Breaker and runs right into a boot. And Johnny Gold, you've been pretty quiet here as of late. Since you helped Miss Natural in that hair versus title match back in December in Eldon, you haven't really gotten involved in too many things. You've been up here mostly as just a color commentator now. Is this where you plan to stay?
Oh, number one, I like hanging out with you, Mr. Murphy, except for when you try to insult me, which never works. But, you know, I've said it before, Johnny Gold's just sitting back. He's watching, taking notes. And when somebody least suspects it, or when Johnny Gold thinks the time is right, there might be more goal exchange action coming up.
Breaker arm drags Wild Waid off. Big elbow. There's a cover. 1, 2.
You know, we got new talent coming out of the, like you said, out of the Harley Race Wrestling Academy almost each and every week for the past couple months. You know, we got new talent that is, you know, knocking down Harley Race's door to work for WLW. So there's no need for Johnny Gold to rush into it. Johnny Gold, you know, myself talking in third person, I'm looking for the right one. The goal exchange of old was the best. I mean, so it's going to take a top-notch caliber person to bring me back to that ring. What do you think, Mr. Murdy? Want to hit the gym, drop about 40 pounds, and we'll
You want to be right there next to me?
I'll be right there.
Well, there's a cover by Wild Waid. 1, 2. No, my wrestling days are over. I had my fun, did more than I expected to do, and now I'm content sitting right here calling these matches. And Wild Waid Chism right now with the advantage on Brian Breaker.
See if I have a bite of your nachos.
Team Breaker trying to get their charge. Brian Breaker to figure out a way out of this armbar. Well, now Waid misses that elbow.
You know, he needs to maybe start winning. Oh, that was a vicious clothesline. But no, Breaker needs to start maybe winning some more matches, because I remember on his debut, Team Breaker was about 25 people strong, and now they're down to 8.
Well, I believe those are relatives, and I know that Sand Springs, Oklahoma is a long way from here.
Dude, we're only 30 miles from Arkansas.
That's Arkansas, not Oklahoma. By Wild Waid. And now Breaker, the neck breaker. I know, Breaker hit a neck breaker. 1, 2.
Almost got a win, and Breaker hit a breaker.
You know, one thing I really like about you, Johnny, you're easily amused.
Yes, I am.
You laugh at my jokes when I don't even laugh at them.
That's because I think 90% of the world's goofy anyway, so it's easy to be amused.
I'm glad while some people choose to take the pessimistic route, you find such humor in the world around you. But right now, Wild Waid using some elbows, trying to get out of that reverse chinlock, and he does. Low drop kick by Brian Breaker. Didn't get the height on it, but sometimes that can be more painful taking one in the stomach than in the chest. There's a cover. 1, 2.
You know, we said it earlier about Wild Waid Chism being Mr. WLW. You know, his main problem right now in his career is he still likes to hear that cheers. You know, Johnny Gold could take him back to the promised land, but he likes that straight and narrow. He likes to listen to cheers.
I'm sorry, but here comes a backslide. This is what Brian Breaker used to pin Denty Moore just a week ago in a non-televised event in Harrisonville. And let's see if he can get the big man Wild Waid down. Wild Waid putting up quite a fight here. And Waid, that may be a modified submission move there. But Brian drops to a knee. 1, 2. Referee Brandon Schmidt just about got Wild Waid size 13 on the top of his head. A big clothesline. Breaker really puts all that 240 pounds into the clothesline and gets another 2 count on the 5-time former world champion Wild Waid Chism. Now Brian with a big scoop, and he slams Wild Waid. He hits a leg drop. He needs to make the cover. A little bit slow. 1, 2. And he needs to hook that leg with a little bit more force. Wild Waid's got a big, heavy leg, but if Brian Breaker can get that weight shifting up toward Wade's shoulders, it makes it even harder to kick out of those pin attempts. I can smell you laughing. What's so funny?
Oh, dude, you interrupted me too many times. I ain't talking no more.
Well, I think I might be getting some fan mail over that one. Finally shutting Johnny Gold up. And there's an Irish whip by Wild Waid. Breaker moves, hits the ropes, and a backbreaker to Wild Waid takes him down. 1, 2. Well, Waid kicks out at a 2 count. I thought that might have laid Waid out the way his arms were stretched out there. Now Brian with the reverse chin lock. Referee Brandon Schmidt checking. It's not a choke. Doing a very good job in here. Now Waid coming back up to his feet.
All right, we'll increase the ratings in this show. I'll start talking again.
Now Waid with some elbows. Hits the ropes. Whoa. And back drops the big man.
I'll give Breaker some credit there. That's a strength to get Waid up that high.
Yes, there is. 1, 2. And I'm just not a fan of hooking that inside leg. You get the guy's momentum going that way, and it's very easy for him to just slip his right shoulder up off the mat in that instance. But now Waid breaks the hands free. Waid with the slam. Puts him down. Waid going up to the middle rope. Oh! Misses the middle rope leg drop. Oh! And he may have injured that left leg. Brian Breaker very wisely going straight to that left leg. There's a cover. 1, 2. Now there's where the inexperience comes into play. Brian Breaker, Wild Waid seemed to have shook himself up a little bit, hurt that left leg when he missed that leg drop. Breaker went right to the leg, and then he hooked the right leg instead. If you want to hurt Wild Waid, and you want to make it difficult for him to kick out, big axe kick, but Wild Waid's knee buckled under him.
Dude, you said leg like 17 times in one sentence.
Well, that was the topic of my little speech there. Both men down now. Referee Brandon Schmidt to a 4 count. Now at a 6 count. One of these men's going to have to get to his feet, or this will be ruled a double count out. If they don't get to their feet before the 10. Looks like Waid may make it up, and he does. Now there's an Irish whip. Waid. Well, Brian breaks a hip toss, hits a big clothesline right into a cover. Ouch. Near fall for Brian Breaker.
That was a vicious, vicious clothesline.
10 minutes in the match have expired. 10 minutes have expired.
10 minutes down in this match. I believe there's a 20-minute time limit. And a big winding forearm. Now Waid fighting back. Scoop. Slam from Wild Waid.
Yeah, Breaker'd like to see this match. He needs to end this match because if it comes down to that 20-minute time limit, Wade's got the experience and probably the stamina to go into the 18, 19-minute mark.
Well, there's a cover from Waid. 1, 2. And Brian Breaker, what a huge win this would be for him. Wild Waid, a 5-time former world champion. Waid misses that shoulder block. Get on him, Brian. If you want to have a chance at winning this match, you better capitalize right now. There's a cover. 1, 2.
Don't get frustrated, kids. Stay on him. You got Wild Waid Chism on his back. You got to keep him there.
Big forearms from Breaker. Irish whip. And a hip. Well, a mixed reaction from this crowd, but Brian Breaker now must Waid up. There's another cover. 1, 2. Waid just rolling the shoulder up. He better put a little more effort into that kick out. His shoulder doesn't come completely up off the mat. Referee Brandon Schmidt will count to 3, and Brian Breaker will get the biggest win of his career.
Well, that's a new one. If his shoulder don't come up on 3, it's a win.
You know, I don't even know what I'm saying half the time, Johnny. Come on. Suplex from Brian Breaker. And another cover. 1, 2. Breaker's still 2 3/4. Wild Waid rolling his shoulder up off the mat.
Tell you what, this has been an excellent match. Excellent match.
Yes, it has been. Brian Breaker looking better every week. He shoots Waid into the ropes. Side slam. Hooks the inside leg. 1, 2.
Wow, I don't know if it can get any closer than that.
Well, Brian Breaker now, he's giving Wild Waid just about everything he has. Body body slam from Breaker. Now Brian's going to go up to the top rope. This could be a mistake.
Well, he hits this. He might get the biggest win of his career.
Well, it's a high-risk move. The payoffs are great. Well, Breaker missed the splash. His leg came down on the back of Wild Wade's head, but it doesn't look like Wild Wade took much of it.
We've seen many matches. Wade's, oh, there it is.
Wade hooks it, drop, it's over. 1, 2, 3. A great win for Wild Wade Chism and a great showing from Brian Breaker.
Wild Wade Chism.
That's Mr. WLW.
But look at Wade. He's really taken some punishment, or he took some punishment in this match. He doesn't look like a winner right now, but a great showing from Brian Breaker and a great win for Wild Wade Chism. And we'll be right back with the main event, the three-way match for the World Heavyweight title right after this.
Jim Trenary Ford in Moscow Mills, Missouri has knowledgeable sales staff and expert service technicians dedicated to delivering the best possible customer service from any Ford dealership in the region. Subscribe to our channel for comprehensive vehicle walkarounds, test drives, and model-specific how-to videos, which will give you a glimpse into the passion we have for these vehicles and the real difference the Jim Trenary experience makes. Stay up to date on the newest technology, features, models, and news from Jim Trenary Ford, where our huge inventory means we'll have the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Our seasoned team of sales and service experts can get you in, out, and on with your day without the pressure you'll feel at the other dealerships. Subscribe to our channel and stop by to see the difference the Jim Trenary experience can make today.
Too fond of them, but they are the World Tag Team Champions. Mark Godeker and the King of the 450, Steve Anthony.
Superstar Steve opening that rope, welcome him into his squared circle.
Well, these guys are hungry for another opportunity to become World Tag Team Champions. And we've had some great tag team wrestling in here in this past year since WLW came to Ozark TV. The Doomsayers, possibly one of the most dominant tag teams in WLW history, followed by Darin Waid and Superstar Steve. We've also seen the Iron Saints, and of course the reigning WLW World Tag Team Champions, Steve Anthony and Mark Godeker.
Well, I tell you what, out of the six that you named, the three teams you named, well, I don't think any of them are any bigger than Mark Godeker. I mean, that man is huge.
Yes, he is. He's a powerhouse, but Steve and Steve Anthony complement each other very well. Godeker's the powerhouse. Steve Anthony can do the flying, and both of them can get downright nasty in their matches. Well, here we go with this WLW World Tag Team Championship match. Now, Steve Anthony is going to try to figure out which corner he needs to go to. There's not a tag rope there. It's the wrong corner, bud. There, he got it.
Well, maybe not. He's going back over there.
The Superstar Steve and Mark Godeker are going to start things off here. Mark needs to quit worrying about the fans and start worrying about a former World Heavyweight Champion, multi-time World Tag Team Champion, and one of the top wrestlers in WLW history. And Godeker showing off his power.
Yeah, it's that strength I was talking about.
Now Steve using a little quickness, goes into the waist lock, but Mark reverses it. Now Steve with a reversal of his own right into a headlock. Mark. Steve, quickness advantage. And 2 drop kicks. Mark Godeker in the corner, charges him, and a big leaping elbow.
A little bit quicker, definitely a lot more experience. Oh, but look, don't always pay off.
Mark Godeker muscled his way out of that bulldog attempt, and he goes into the headlock. Oh, here we go with the crisscross. And Godeker keeps going.
Stop.
Now, Superstar Steve just made Mark Godeker look like what? Like he's got $1 million body and a 10-cent brain. And Steve's been there before. He's been on both sides of the rule book, and he knows how to get under an opponent's skin too. Now, Superstar Steve fighting his way out of the corner here, avoiding the double team. Push whip by Anthony. Now Steve, drop kick. And the Superstar into an overhand wrist lock.
Yeah, you probably take all 4 of these guys in the ring and add up their career years, and I don't even know if they equal what Superstar Steve has in the ring.
And Steve Anthony was ready for that double team move. Darin Waid with the big leg drop to the arm.
I don't think he was too ready for it.
And Darin with the slap right to the trapezius muscle. And a slam. And Darin with the nice top wrist lock. He has it cinched in deep, and he's also pushing against the back of the King of the 450's head to put a little pressure on the neck. And that's right, Johnny. I said trapezius muscle.
That's cool. I didn't say anything.
Darin using his feet to wear down the arm of Steve Anthony.
Using those feet, that feet, I will make fun of you on that one. But he's about to rip the King of the 450's arm right out of the socket.
They could very easily do that. And nice try on the insult, by the way, Johnny. You're reaching a little now.
Yeah, I apologize for that. All of the listeners out there, I mean, I've just insulted you so much throughout the night. I think I've ran out, and that's rare.
You have him feeling the sting from the last one. The Superstar Steve with the senton. 1, 2. That was sarcasm in case you didn't realize it, Johnny, but Superstar Steve in control of the King of the 450's arm.
Oh, now you're bringing it on me. No, I was thinking about insulting that one guy sitting in the front row with the big fro. He looked like Don King.
5 minutes in the match have expired. 5 minutes have expired.
5 minutes down, 1 hour time limit. And I don't have any doubt that these guys could go the full time limit. Superstar Steve runs into the boot.
It's over. It's over.
Steve with the splash. 1, 2.
Wow, I thought that was going to be the quickest title change in tag team history for WLW.
Now, Steve, what's he setting up for here? Oh, he could be getting ready to hook him in this surfboard. Oh, a bit of a standing surfboard. Oh, and now he's going to slam Anthony's head into the turnbuckle. 8 shots to the head.
That was kind of funny.
Superstar Steve can be creative in the way he punishes and embarrasses an opponent. And I don't blame him for wanting to embarrass the King of the 450 after some of the things that have gone down between these two men. Steve now. Oh, Well, the other Steve slips out of the body slam attempt and a back suplex.
Yeah, what's went down between these guys is they took their titles.
Yes, they did, and the king of the 450 now tagging in Mark Godeker. Forearms to the back. That one caught Superstar right in the jaw.
Wow.
Superstar Steve firing those shots right back.
Do not give out what you don't want to receive.
And now Steve going to the forearms, hits the ropes. And he nails Godeker. Superstar, big body slam. Surprising power from Superstar Steve. Mark Godeker about 15 pounds heavier, but Darin Waid slingshots himself into a senton. There's a cover, one. Now Darin Waid, and Darin did pull off a victory here just a couple weeks ago over Mark Godeker. Godeker with the backdrop, but Darin lands on the apron. Now Darin perched on the top rope. Clothesline. There's a cover. 1, 2. 2 count. And Darin with the headbutt. Not sure you're going to do a whole lot of damage to Mark Godeker that way, but Darin Waid with some chops now. Mark breaking the eyes. The king of the 450 tags in. The king of the 450 with that win in singles competition here earlier tonight. Of course, that would have broadcast last week. And that was over Akiago. And then Darin Waid with an outstanding match. He pulled out the victory over the Vietnam Phenom Bao Lin, but right now he's in trouble as he just took that bottom turnbuckle right to the face. Now Steve Anthony set him up. I've seen this before. Drop Waid, spine first into that middle turnbuckle.
Oh,
very dangerous move.
That's the first time I've seen that. That looks very, very painful.
Well, the last time WLW was on Ozark TV, Johnny Gold, you were on vacation. I was here in the trenches calling the action.
I'm always on vacation. Scouting. Looking.
Darin Waid hits the ropes, misses a clothesline. Kick. And Darin Waid ought to get over and make a tag. He's been in there a few minutes now. 1. In a tag team match, you want to get in, get out, and get your, keep the fresh man back in the ring. Now Steve Anthony takes the top buckle, the middle buckle, and now the bottom buckle slid head first. That may have compressed the spine a little bit. Now Superstar Steve with a big forearm. And one more. Now an Irish whip to Steve Anthony. And a running forearm. Now Northern Lights suplex. Bridges, 1, 2. A near fall. Mark Godeker better get off his heels. Over there in the corner, we were 1 count away from New World Tag Team Champions.
You got to jump in there and save your belt there. But you look at Superstar Steve, and since he's found his way and decided not to be under the tutelage of yours truly, his career really went kind of downhill.
I wouldn't say it's gone downhill. He's been a World Tag Team Champion a few times.
Once.
He was also World Tag Team Champions with Dakota.
Wow, talk about somebody that totally is forgettable. I forgot all about him.
10 minutes of the match have expired.
Dakota's a very talented wrestler. We're looking forward to having him back here in WLW. We'd love to have him back. Of course you are. You're a Dakota fan. Somewhere you've got a straw hat that you like to. Nice sunset flip by Darin Waid. 1, 2. And Darin holds on to the waist lock.
Matt Murphy, you've known me for years. You know there's nothing in Johnny Gold's closet that resembles a straw hat and coveralls.
Well, I know that the two of you share a love for Daisy Duke and the Dukes of Hazzard, so.
Well, maybe Daisy Duke, but not the Dukes of Hazzard.
But Dakota was a very talented wrestler, and we're really looking forward to having him back. Right now, we've got a tag.
All I was saying is that Superstar Steve, when he was under my team, he was a world champion. The man. And then
I think you give it time. Superstar Steve's going to be right back in the hunt for the World Heavyweight Championship.
You know, he's got my number. He knows how to dial.
Now Mark Godeker with a knee to the back. Referee Brandon Schmidt needs to do something about that. Oh, Superstar Steve going for
that would be right over that. He was right on that.
And Godeker blocked it, but Superstar Steve pulled his feet out from underneath him, and Steve Anthony takes advantage of the opportunity. Now Anthony, I'm not sure what he calls that move, but I've seen him use it several times now. A very effective move, and smart move there, keeping Superstar Steve in the champion's corner. Now Mark Godeker using the choke. At a 4 count.
But you know, like I was talking about with Superstar Steve, you know, a lot of the guys in WLW that decide to lose my tutelage, you know, even like Dangerous Derek, he loses the world title. His careers went downhill.
Dangerous Derek won that title after he dumped you, Johnny.
Right, but you know, you got to keep a title more than a week.
Dangerous Derek was the champion from July 13th, 2007. Nice roll-up, 1, 2. It's October 27th. Of 2007, if you're taking notes here.
Wow, you're
you count on your fingers. How many months is that, Johnny?
I ain't counting on my fingers. I don't have to count on my fingers. Mr. Statistician.
That's a statistician. Superstar Steve, though, taking some punishment here from the World Tag Team Champions. Nice.
I might tap out right here.
A very painful hold. Bow and arrow lock here by the king of the 450. Knee to the lower back. It's kind of hard after being in the ring out of the ring for so many years. Remembering what some of these holds were called. I didn't know that half of them were called back when I wrestled. I just did them. Nice butterfly suplex by Mark Godeker. 1, 2.
I've also been listening to you over the past few months and stuff, man. You also make up names as you go.
When you turn your head away from somebody when you talk, they have a hard time hearing you. I'm sure that's something that, you know, the world's not deaf, Johnny. You need to work on the way you communicate with people.
I talk right into this microphone, bud.
Cross-body by Superstar Steve, 2 count. Ducks a clothesline, reverses, and into a backside. Steve dropping right down to his knees, getting up on his toes, 2 count. And Godeker stops him with the forearm to the back.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is what, between Anthony and Godeker, this is third time. Can you imagine how it boosts their egos if they made Superstar tap out?
Oh, yes, definitely. And they don't really need an ego boost. Mark Godeker's ego is almost as big as his biceps, and the king of the 450.
Well, you might be right on that one, Matt Murray, but I'll tell you what, I think Superstar Steve would pass out before he tapped out.
I'd be awful surprised to see Superstar Steve give up in a match. I've never seen it before. But now, jawbreaker by Superstar Steve. And Steve needs to get over in the corner and make a tag.
Nice move. I like that.
Tried to crawl between Mark Godeker's legs, but Godeker stops him. The front face lock. And look at Godeker using his strength to scoot Steve right across the ring, closer to his corner. tag on the foot. Referee Brandon Schmidt should not be allowing that. That's not a legal tag.
Oh, I thought you said earlier you liked him.
Well, referee Brandon Schmidt does a great job, but that...
Well, you just ridiculed him. How could that be a great job?
I didn't ridicule him. I call things like I see them, and in that instance, that tag should not have been allowed. That's one of your problems, Johnny. You take constructive criticism as ridicule, and I can see where you're.
Is that one of my problems?
Well, one of your many. I can write a second book strictly on Johnny Gold's problems. A nice crossface camel clutch by Superstar by the King of 450.
15 minutes have expired.
Well, they're trying to make Steve tap out. Tap out or pass out. God, his sternum's so stretched right now.
That's very painful on the lower back and on the abdominal muscles. Steve gets his knees up underneath him. That'll really take the pressure off.
Don't let him stand up. Don't let him stand up. You're in trouble now.
Get it to his feet. Superstar takes Anthony into the corner.
Got to get to his corner.
Knee to the back, and Superstar Steve really has to make this tag soon. Steve Anthony's feet under the bottom rope. Now Anthony with the scoop. Anthony slam. Tag to Godeker. Comes that double team move. And a nice little somersault from Steve Anthony. 2 count. Steve Anthony's a great wrestler, but he sure is awful annoying. Executed a nice move and followed it up with that ridiculous somersault. It's the kind of guy that was still popping wheelies when he was 16 years old on his bicycle.
You know, you say that, Matt Murphy, and what was it? 4 weeks ago, or however long it was before, you know, he won that tag. All you can talk about, well, that's Steve Anthony. He's the man. He's cool. That 450 is awesome. Now he's changed his ways, went down a different path, got them belts, now all of a sudden you don't like him.
Well, he wasn't annoying back then. Superstar Steve just got the spit knocked out of him. Standing suplex by Mark Godeker, showing him to the whole crowd. There's a cover, 1, 2. 2 3/4. Now 2.5. Mark Godeker better put some more offense on Superstar Steve to keep him down. Forearms by Mark Godeker. The big cross.
That was quick.
Superstar Steve reaching for the wrong corner.
Corner there, Steve-O.
Now Mark Godeker catches Steve. Come on, Steve Anthony. Godeker runs right into a boot. A Superstar trying to fight his way out. Through the legs of Mark Godeker. He makes the tag to Darin Waid. Darin Waid's on fire here. Big chop. Roundhouse kick. Waid hits the ropes, running knee. There's a cover. 1. Nearly a 2 count. Darin Waid needs to get a little more offense in here before making that cover. Now Darin, double neck breaker. Looked like Godeker's head may have came down on top. Flipping neck breaker. Now Darin going up to the top rope. Could be going for that top rope leg drop. He hits it right across the jaw.
Anthony makes the save.
Steve Anthony does make the save. He needs to get Anthony out of the ring to have a chance at stopping, at pinning Godeker. Now Darin backdrops Steve Anthony over the top rope.
Oh, this is it.
He hits the ropes. Big boot. A German suplex from Superstar Steve. That may have been the last of Superstar's energy. drop kick. Superstar Steve down to the floor. He could be in trouble. Flapjacks. Steve Anthony lands on top of his partner. A roundhouse kick caught Anthony in the back. European uppercut. Darin shoots Anthony to the floor. Godeker stops Darin Waid. What's going on here? Oh! Double team DDT. There's a cover. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, that's a heck of a move right there.
Well, a very dangerous looking double team move. And it allows the World Tag Team Champions, Steve Anthony and Mark Godeker, to retain their championship.
Steve Anthony and Mark Godeker.
Not a popular decision, but the World Tag Team Champions retain. Thank you for joining us right here on WLW on Ozark TV.